There we go. I see it. I'm on it.
Yo, this thing on. Mic check 1 2 1 2. How's everyone doing? Well, let me start this thing off, right? My name is Ryuk, and welcome to Yo Invite on YouTube. Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Ryuk, and this is Yo Invite, the podcast where we bring together your favorite geeks, gamers, and goofballs into one place so we can talk about all the things that are pushing our culture forward. It's good to be back. We are on a new platform, same show. You're used to seeing us here, probably dropping some stuff here and there on videos, but you've probably not seen us here live too much. As you know, from a couple weeks ago, we decided as a group to go ahead and shift on over to YouTube and see how that works out. So this is our first official live stream on YouTube. And yeah, if you can, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all the updates from us on when we go live on here. And yeah, welcome to the show. It's good to be back. I'm happy to be here. If you notice some things are a little choppy, if you notice some things are like a little new, like I think right now we're locked at 30 FPS, which is new because on Twitch, I didn't get to customize my FPS too much. I think it was locked at 60. So in the next couple weeks, things are going to be a little more improved, especially with YouTube being able to give us way more options than Twitch. But until then, we're going to start this stream off introducing our co-host, as always, the man that you see on the other end, the man with the information, the man who knows most of these things like the back of his hand, Ruben Martinez, aka A Lot of Pun. How you doing, sir?
Damn, sir, you just give me the full name drop? Jeez.
Just
All
a
right.
slight name drop.
This man full name dropped me. All right. I'm doing good. It's good to be back. Excited for this chapter that we're going through, this evolution we're going through right now for YouTube and the live, and um, you know, excited to make more content for the people, for the fans.
The people what they want, as they say. Give the people what they need. Yes.
Certainly.
Right? Well, I guess this is the point in the show where we remind you to follow us on all social media platforms. So make sure to follow us at YoInvite on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube,
The 3 platforms.
TikTok.
There you go. Oh, 4, you're right.
TikTok. Yeah. So YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You could still follow us on the other one, that the Voldemort station. But go ahead and keep us locked in here. But until then, I think it's time to get this show started. Ruben, sir, are you ready?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Well, let's kick this thing off then. My name is Ryuk. Welcome to Yo Invite. I am your local villain, your friendly neighborhood anti-hero, the man you love to hate, and I got the news for you on this date. Let's get it. Run my intro. Go! Yeah. Yeah. What? You don't like the intro? Come on. Intro's a classic. It's classic. I love that thing. But, anyway, on with the news. You kept up with the news this week, Ruben? Or just the things going on in general? It's been a lot of things since the last time we did a pod.
I mean, yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. There have been a couple of things that have been kind of circulating around the interwebs. Probably some stuff we probably won't be able to cover through today. We only have so much time for our beautiful fans. But something I do kind of want to start off with for this week. You know, little something called Chainsaw Man.
Well, of course, it's the newest anime to hit Netflix, Hulu, and your favorite anime streaming platform.
Wow. That's amazing. Anyways, but yeah, so Chainsaw Man anime debut was on the 11th. So just a little under a week ago. And it's already been met with wilding success. Yeah, wilding success before it came out. There's been so much hype for this show in general that it's surpassed the, I believe, the viewership rating of Jujutsu Kaisen. I believe before, based just entirely off of like its trailers, from what I remember. Let me double check my information real quick just to make sure. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I double checked that. Yeah, the viewership numbers were as good as any of the other big anime of the year. Goodness. Yeah, viewership on the same level as the Attack on Titan last season. And some people are comparing it to a hole that can fill the void of the Game of Thrones left. There are a lot of things going on with Chainsaw Man right now. But for those of you that don't know, so essentially, what Chainsaw Man is, so it's a manga. It's based on a manga, same title, obviously. Made by a man. There we go. Named Tatsuki Fujimoto. And it basically, the premise of the story is about a man named Denji. He's a 16-year-old, so I say man, but he's 16. But you know how anime works a little bit. People seem older than they are. It starts with him and his story, basically him against the world, trying to fulfill his dreams and kind of pay off, debt that he's been in, passed down by his father and stuff like that. And he's a really downtrodden kind of protagonist. Not like many we've seen before, but he sort of hits some of their tropes. Um, One thing, unlike other protagonists, though, is that he's forced to sell parts of his body and work as a devil hunter. So this is a alternate universe where devils exist. Cool. And the Soviet Union, not only that, it's also an alternate history where the Soviet Union still exists and World War II never happened. There are a lot of things going on. Like, there are a lot of things going on. But, just think of Chainsaw Man as a mix of, as I guess describe it, a mishmash. I can't talk today. Mishmash of raunchy teen sex comedies, anyone you've ever seen, Hellboy, and Evil Dead. Let's mix all that together. That's basically what Chainsaw Man is. Goes from straight gory violence to gross out poop humor, almost interchangeably intertwined at any moment. But certainly a big hit amongst people that watch it.
I enjoyed what I've seen so far from it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty fire.
Okay. We'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Oh,
but I feel as though there was something. Can you remind me what it was? Remind me what it was.
Oh, a little.
That's something.
A little bit of the the thing that we've all been waiting for, that young Overwatch 2.
Oh, you mean Overwatch 1.5?
Exactly. So if you didn't know, if you don't know, now you know that Overwatch is confirmed to be Kingdom Hearts fans because their latest release is nothing short of a full game. It's actually just one big update because the rest of the game is not here. So what we got was exactly what Ruben said, Overwatch 1.5. Now, just to give you some insight on Overwatch 2, it launched on October 4th, kinda, or at least it tried to. Players around the world were met with queue times that lasted to around 80,000 players long. And I'm not kidding. I have a picture of my queue time where I believe it was 40,000 players. I wasn't able to get into the first day. I wasn't able to get into the game the second day. I wasn't able to get into the game until October 7th, as did many other players. Why? You might ask, because of DDoS attacks that were happening towards Battle.net. Now, Battle.net servers were DDoS attacked for a maximum of, I believe, like 2 or 3 days, but just 5 days ago they were recently DDoS attacked again. So I don't know what's going on at Battle.net, but they clearly have to get their security ramped up because people want to play this game. Now, many players were also displeased with Battle.net because when you registered with Battle.net, which is required in order to play Overwatch 2, you were supposed to register with your phone numbers. This created many problems, but let me explain why this happened. So this is known as SMS protection. SMS protection is when it's requiring new players to have a unique phone number linked to their account to even play the game. Means it is much harder to create alternate accounts, to get around bans, and use cheats. It is also to help verify your identity and ownership of your account if you are hacked. So, just in case anyone tries to mess with your account, they can trace it back to your phone number. If you try to use any cheats or mods or anything that's not supposed to be used in Overwatch 2, they can find out through your phone number, ban you, and ban any other account you use with that phone number or set on and set forth. Next up, this created a little bit of another side problem that many people weren't thinking about. What about the young fans who wanted to play Overwatch 2 and have been waiting to play Overwatch 2? They don't have phone numbers, they don't have email addresses, so on and so forth. So with their parents being busy or not too tech savvy, as I know many parents aren't nowadays, they weren't able to experience what many other people were able to easily get access to, which I think is a little unfair, coming from someone who has a younger brother himself. Also, returning players, just if you haven't noticed, if you're able to play the game right now, go ahead and merge your account, because if you merge your account, that's when you're able to get all your stuff back. So all your skins from Overwatch 1 and stuff like that, they're there. You just got to go get them. You got to merge your account. Once all that was said and done, people were finally able to play the game. Now, in my opinion, Overwatch 1.5 is good. It's decent. It's Overwatch. There's nothing much else you could say except there's Overwatch. There's just a couple minor changes. And before I get into the minor changes, I would actually like to take a reverse and tackle the major changes. One of the first being that 6v6 is gone. 5v5 is here, and I think it's here to stay. 5v5 actually is way more manageable when it comes to the chaos on the map. I can see where the tank is, I can see where the medic is, I can see where the Genji that's hopping around all over the map is annoying me, and I can focus wherever I need to focus. However, when it had the 6v6, chaos just bombarded. You couldn't pay attention to what explosions going on here, teleporters going on there, a Sombra detonating an EMP once or twice. It's all confusion. But now it's a little more clean, especially with the fact that now with those 5v5s, you can take your party or yourself and queue for specific roles. Yes, I said that correctly, queue for specific roles. That means if you want to just play tank, you can queue just for tank. If you want to play support, you can queue for support. If you want to mix it up, you can queue for tank, support, or all of the above. Now, I think this is cool because if you are a player who's dedicated to certain play styles, you are able to go and gravitate towards those play styles and work around the branch of heroes that are inside of that play style. Now, that's up to you, but the option is always there. What else do I have in my notes? Roku, yes. Blizzard has also introduced 3 new characters from the roster. Pronounce their names wrong, I might. Sojourn, who's an attacker. Sojourn. Yeah, she looks like she's from Cyberpunk 2077, and I kind of rock with it. I like it. And she's actually pretty good in play. Junker Queen, who's my favorite tank. I love the Junker Queen. She is a monster. She is a beast. She is the love. And of course, the person who has the best music in all of Overwatch, Kodiko. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Kodiko's theme, and all I gotta say is bow. Bow. You'll know what I'm saying once you look that up. Next up, players will also be able to experience a new mode called Push. Also, the PvE story mode is not yet available and is set to drop sometime in 2023. But lastly, and of course not least, it's the least, what game would be here nowadays in the 2020 era if it didn't have a battle pass? So be sure to check that out if you really want to. Now, those are our 2 news articles for this week. Ruben, how you feeling about Overwatch 2 and Chainsaw Man?
Well, Overwatch 2 Redux Edition, really interesting, I guess. But no, honestly, I don't think it will actually be Overwatch 2 until the PvE comes out. So until 2023, I'm gonna just call it Overwatch 1 with extra shit in it.
Right.
With DLC, that's what I'm gonna call it. And honestly, you kind of have to call it because they got rid of the original Overwatch 1 altogether. So you can't play that anymore. They kind of just replaced it with this. So
I've never seen a game that was still so relevant just completely get wiped off the map, dude. Like shut down, gone, dunzos. I've seen some games like shut down, but Overwatch 1, it was really sad. It was actually really unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a wild time, honestly. I was like, what the hell is going on? What is going on? Yeah, no, really interesting. Just kind of looking at it, and kind of the direction that Overwatch is going. Like for this, I mean, the changes that they made do make sense, and I appreciate them. Like the 5v5 instead of a 6v6. That's fine. because there are a lot of moments in original Overwatch where 12 people on a map is a lot. That is a lot of people to be keeping track of. There would be like 11 other people on the map besides you. That you got to keep track of, like teammates, enemies. You got to see where they are at all times, depending on your role. If you're, say, a healer, that's like double time. You got to keep up with everybody because, hey, you're doing all the healing. One of the other major changes that I saw that was really nice is the healer's passive healing. The passive healing, I really enjoyed that new aspect. So healers can now passively heal if they haven't been damaged for a few seconds outside of combat. So now it's not as hard on healers to worry about not having a second healer to heal them. So they can do the heal. It's like a whole train thing. So it's less to worry about on that aspect. Then some of the major reworks to their characters, obviously, really nice. There are a lot of minor tweaks, but the major changes that you kind of see, the ones I know about are Orisa. Her kit is completely changed. She's basically a whole new character. She no longer has her shield. She now uses the javelin. She has a whole new ult. She has a whole new kit. So I'm really looking forward to her. She seems like a really fun tank to play as now. And then Doomfist. Doomfist, who used to be a damage hero, is now also a tank. He transitioned his role into tank role. So his kit has changed. His kit hasn't changed per se, but his health, along with his some minor tweaks to his actual kit, have made him more viable as a tank-like hero. But yeah, I mean, obviously, those are some of the major changes that are going on. Those are some of the things that like I enjoyed about it. There are still like things wrong, such as like balance. There's still some balancing issues, and I don't think they're going to be fixing any of those issues for a long time. At least not until the PvE comes out.
Yeah, they said that they were going to be fixing some of the stuff, balancing some things till December, which caused them to take out Bastion completely. Now, as a former, I should say, because I don't know how you play Overwatch anymore, especially now that he's not there, as a former Bastion main, how do you feel?
I don't play the game currently.
Nice.
I don't currently play the game. I have it downloaded. I took one look at the roster, didn't see Bastion, looked up why he wasn't there, and then I quit out of Overwatch as soon as I saw the news. I was like, nope, not doing that. Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
Dude. They have no problem like just completely wiping things out. I've noticed. Like,
that's my boy.
We're taking him out. We're taking him out for a while.
I know they had similar things going on with Torbjorn too, but he was still viable for like quick play and stuff like that, just not like ranked competitive play. But yeah, apparently Bastion's so bad that he had to be taken out of the game entirely. That's wild. That is wild.
Yeah, that's a whole
like I know
level.
Like, to be fair, I know they changed his kit too. Like, his kit is completely, like, almost completely different.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you did that with Orisa, and she's just fine. Like, what happened with Bastion? What'd you do to my boy Bastion? But, yeah. I think until the balancing issues are really, like, worked on, I feel like there's going to be a lot of complaints about balance issues until they actually do some big changes. And I don't think they're going to address it for a long while. But overall, I think as soon as they put Bastion in, it'll be a really good game. I mean, it's honestly, it's just Overwatch. It's the same Overwatch you've already gotten. There are new characters. I really want to play, Kiriko. And I really want to play her as a support because she seems really cool. And also her abilities seem kind of OP if you use it right. So, looking forward to that. But yeah, man, just call it Overwatch 1.5, dude. Just save us all some time, man. Just release Overwatch 1.5 right now, and then say Overwatch 2 is when the PvE comes out. Just change it. You can do that. You just got rid of a whole game and put it into another one. So why can't you make this 1.5, then release 2 when the PvE comes out, and then get rid of the 1.5 and just keep all this shit for 2? See? You can do it twice. What's the problem here?
And just like that, we have another reason why Ruben should work for Blizzard.
Damn.
Not that he wants to, but
But at this point, I might have to.
yeah, don't. Hey, you might have dropped a new game, but we still know who you guys are. We're watching you guys.
I don't need my glasses on to see the bullshit you're pulling.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But next up, hey, anime guy, Shonen Jump guy, hey,
Perhaps.
got chainsaw guy, or should I say, guy with the chainsaw got his anime.
Barnacle Man.
Yeah.
Barnacle
Yeah.
Man.
Barnacle Man. Yeah, dude, Chainsaw Man, it's here. It's real. All these things are becoming real. Overwatch 2, Chainsaw Man, God of War. Like,
yeah, what the fuck is happening, man?
yeah, man. How do you feel? How do you? Well, you haven't watched it yet, correct?
I haven't watched it, no, but I do read it.
Okay, and you're a fan.
I'm a fan. It's very good. I like what it's about.
Oh, good. That's good. That's clean. That's clean. I'm getting into it. It's interesting. The animation's clean so far, but it makes me want to read the manga.
Yes.
I am starting to read manga. I have my Jujutsu Kaisen right here. But manga is a habit that you have to pay for. So yeah. I'm just gonna wait until the next episode comes out. But until then, I do like the fact that it's subbed right now, because it's forcing me to step into a new branch that I'm not too comfortable with anime. When it comes to new anime dropping like that, you know, I'm not too familiar with how they drop, or too familiar with like time arcs and stuff like that. I'm still getting used to shit, because I know even in certain points in anime, they'll drop certain amount of episodes and then it's like a span break and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of like using this first big anime release I've seen to kind of dip my toes in the water. It's coming out week by week. I have the ability to stay up to date with it. If I want to know more, I can read along or ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited. I've never seen an anime come out like this. I'm 26 years old. I haven't paid attention to anime until the most recent year, so this is pretty cool.
It's always fun seeing a new something debut that you've kind of been keeping up with since like almost the beginning and stuff like that. It's like he's like, before an anime comes out, and if you're like a fan and you've read it before and you happen to, it's almost like knowing things were cool before they were cool. It's like being a hipster, really, but for anime. Being an anime nerd is basically just being a hipster, but for anime. It's fine. You're on your way. You're definitely on your way.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Yes. This man is Darwin from Gumball. Right now. Yeah, no, but the whole direction that Chainsaw Man goes in, because they're deeper themes, and I know you haven't really like you've like kind of followed, but I don't think you've read up to like and like kind of seen what it's about, like about. But I'm sure you can probably glean. There's some stuff you probably gleaned off of what you've seen so far from Chainsaw Man. Just kind of like the tone that it kind of gives off is a lot bleaker than a lot of the other things you've probably seen, except for like, I mean, you know Death Note, right? I'm sure you've seen Death Note before. You seem like a person that's watched Death Note.
No idea what you're talking about. Cyberpunk 2077, Edgerunners.
Yeah, there you go.
Is my favorite anime. What is this Death Note you speak? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Anyways, but definitely gives off bleaker vibes about the entire world in general. But yeah. So yeah, honestly, it's just interesting. It's interesting to take, because I think the creator is about like, he's in our age range. He's like in our age range, so it's kind of weird.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, he's I don't know exactly how old, but yeah, he's around our like in our age range per se. And the person who's directing the series. His name is Ryu Nakayama, who was in charge of directing Jujutsu Kaisen's 19th episode. If you don't know Jujutsu Kaisen's 19th episode, watch all of Jujutsu Kaisen. But it's like that whole like bromance. It's like a bromance episode along with like really good fight sequences. I think it was with why can't I remember names, man?
Because you've watched almost over 600,000 anime?
Well, not thousand, but I mean, I've read a lot. I go through a lot of names. There are a lot of names to go through. But yeah. Also, one of the cool things about this series is that Studio Mappa, who's in charge of the series, has taken 100% like decision-making rights for this piece. So usually, in Japan, there's a thing that creators of animation do. It's called making a production committee, and I'm sure that some animators do it out here as well. I think Disney, like Pixar, would kind of be like a good example. But essentially, what a production committee is, it's a bunch of different companies and stakeholders that are kind of in charge of a particular show, an animated show, an anime. And they all kind of are in charge of a certain aspect or piece. And that makes it basically less liable for any one person to take kind of blame for anything that may go wrong. Kind of diversifies and kind of waters down like blame in case things go wrong for certain productions and things like that. This time around, though, Studio Mappa decided to fully commit to handling the series by themselves, which is, first off, kind of a really rare thing to do. But I mean, there are pros and cons. Again, con would be that if there's something that goes wrong, or if like some adaptation or something looks bad, we know who to blame it on. It's going to be Studio Mappa. On the other hand, now that means that all their creative decisions, if they want to take risks and do some extra stuff with their animation, they can do that because they're fully in charge of the project, which is something they wouldn't be able to do if there were a lot of different projects involved that all had their opinions and their say. It's a little more constrictive. So, yeah, that's really, really wild. But it's also quoted by the studio CEO, Manabu Atsuka, that the team wanted a younger generation to lead the story of Chainsaw Man, which is why the director, Ryu Nakayama, is about the same age range as the creator, the original author. So Nakayama and Fujimoto are both millennials born in the early 90s. So they're definitely around our age range, probably in their like late 20s right now, maybe early 30s. So yeah, it's really cool. And I know we see it a lot here for like athletics, but like seeing people at our age range, even if they're in a different country, that are about our age doing something that in some instance maybe we would have wanted to have done, like by the time they're like we're their age and stuff like that. Like every time I see like, oh man, new young mangaka on the rock doing really good stuff, I'm like, man, that person is really talented. I'm very cool that like I grew up, I didn't even know the person, but I grew up in the same generation as this person. Like I know of their work, I know what they do, and now everyone else in the world gets to see what they do. Same thing for athletes, really. But yeah, I'm really excited for Chainsaw Man. I really hope it does really well. I think it will, but I hope it goes over my expectations.
Chainsaw Man, go watch it. You can find it on Netflix, Hulu, your favorite streaming platform. Yeah, Chainsaw Man, good. Overwatch 1.5. It's high. Go get it if you want to.
5 to 8 days over 2.
Yeah, exactly. Ruben, we got some dirt to get into. So, I cut the music for this. I want to say that everything we're about to say is alleged, because I don't want Yo Invite to be held to claiming that anyone said or did these things. But everything we're about to say is alleged. Now, unless it's on record. Or in legal documents. So, Ruben, do you know Dan Schneider?
Yeah, I do know Dan Snyder.
Ah, the Dan Schneider who is the owner of the Washington Commanders, correct?
Oh yeah, he commands them. Yes,
Yes,
certainly.
indeed. So for those of you who don't know, Dan Schneider, who is the owner of the Washington Commanders, has gone on record saying that he has enough dirt on several NFL owners to make the whole league flip on its head. Now, Snyder has been the main focus in many investigations recently, allegedly, including accounting fraud and sexual assault, or SA, excuse me. I gotta bleep that out. Dang it, we're on YouTube. I didn't know you can't say that. I forgot. But anyway, I'm reporting. Known for creating a toxic work environment for employees, and I even read a report that he was trying to get the parking lot that was up the street so the Commanders could have more parking. The guy who owned the parking lot said no because the team sucks so bad. So allegedly, this guy sent people to pour spoiled milk on Thursdays on his carpet so that on Sundays when they play, it would smell terrible over there. Um, that's childish. He has been quoted by saying that the league is just one big mafia and that all the owners hate him. This next part is actually interesting. Many people asked, or no, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say this first. An anonymous owner reached out to the ESPN and went on record saying that that's not true and that all the other owners just hate Snyder just because of who he is and what he's done. Many people ask the question, how does this man still own a NFL team? But many also speculate that it's because of the reports that Snyder has hired a private investigator or several over the years to find dirt on his fellow owners. One of the things that is in rumor is that the main reason the league wants Snyder to be thrown out is because of the alleged Commanders allegation that the financial team and Snyder used two books to lie about the team's financial expenses. Now, this next part I pulled off of a article from Front Office Sports. It says the debt load Snyder has undertaken could be impacting the team's finances. Snyder received a debt waiver from the league's owner at the NFL's annual meeting a year ago in order to finance a large chunk of the nearly $1 billion used to purchase the 40% of the franchise he didn't already own. And one big thing that I did leave out is that an anonymous owner reached out to ESPN and went on the record saying that he allegedly hired a PI to find and blackmail Roger Goodell, who's the current commissioner of the NFL. It's a mess. Yeah. I don't want to say I'm interested in what this could do to the league because I know what it could do to the league. It could make, I don't want to be dramatic because I feel like players are going to play. You know what I'm saying? But it could literally make shit stop. It could literally make everything just stop and be investigated. This could stop football possibly. If, quote unquote, he does have dirt that's on everyone, depending on how deep it goes, if there are two pocket books and stuff like that, and other owners are doing shady things with money and blah, 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 we don't know these allegations, it could stop football for a while. That's the extreme part. The next part is they could just fire a bunch of owners. They could just fire a bunch of owners. The league could come in, find a new commissioner, or fire the commissioner, or whatever, and just redo everything. Now, Ruben, as someone who's watched the NFL and watched football longer than me, way longer than me, knows names, understands how some of these guys possibly have done things in the past. You've seen some of the things they've done. How do you see this going, and how do you feel about these stories coming out?
Well, okay. So, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot going on right now. Definitely, I can see your point. Like, if Dan Snyder has done the things that he's alleged that he's done. Well, that have been alleged of him that he's done. Not on the count of um like the stuff specifically for the Commanders, but the stuff he's done in terms of getting information. Because sources that I see have told me that he's allegedly hired investigations and PIs for maybe a count of like 6 different owners around the league, and also Roger Goodell. So if he does have information about these individual parties, like, yeah, I think it'll be a big shock for the NFL. Um, to kind of try and sort out and sort through, because these can be very serious allegations. If they're enough to try and get someone like fired, like, because this is a retaliation act essentially. Dan Snyder's like, hey, I see that you all hate me, but if you think that I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna like, from what I've seen and from stuff I've read, apparently what it's so all the NFL owners are kind of what they're doing is they don't have the I'll say it, the balls to straight out vote to fire Daniel Snyder and remove him from his job. Because I do think that the NFL upper echelon, the owners, are like a mafia. I do believe in that sentiment. Me myself, that is my opinion. I'm absolutely sure that they've over the years been as owners, because they've been owners for years, some decades, some newer, but some of the older ones decades. I'm looking at, like, say, Jerry Jones, the Jones family. Like, they have been owners for like generations. Um, and I'm sure there have been dealings that have not necessarily been over the table right that have gone on in the NFL since the NFL has been accepted. That's just not. There's no way there hasn't been. Um, but yeah, the fact that the owners didn't vote to vote him out kind of doubles down on that whole mafia mentality. It's like, you don't take out your own. But what they're kind of trying to silently do is they're trying to get him out through other means. So a lot of this information about the Commanders that are kind of coming up kind of recently, I feel like is kind of a thing that other owners are kind of doing to try and push him out to make him kind of retire and step down from his own position without having to actually force their hand and like be like, oh yeah, we're getting rid of you, because it kind of shows a certain image of owners for things like that. And so in this situation, it looks like Daniel Snyder kind of has all the leverage until he steps down. If he has all this information, then they can't easily get rid of him over thoughts of maybe expulsion if he does have information. Actually, this is all alleged, obviously. But yeah, this has been kind of a long time coming. The Commanders have been in the limelight for allegations of like sexual misconduct and documentation that kind of goes back to like um, I believe it was John Gruden back when he was with the Raiders before he got fired. Um, but yeah, no, I don't know what this really means for the NFL. I don't think it's really going to affect things this season, because I don't think they're going to get rid of him this season. But who knows in the future? Who knows in the near future? Maybe um, what's going to happen? I feel like, just my last thing before I switch it back up, is like, for me, I feel as though while it will be big, I don't think it's going to stop football. I don't think that the ownership being in a bunch of scandals is going to stop football. The commissioner, not even. I don't know if it'll stop football. I think there's too much. There's too much at stake for the NFL stopping football to kind of fix all these issues for them to actually stop football. This will probably be a lot of stuff that you see, maybe one or two headlines, like major headlines that kind of get continued on. But a lot of this stuff will be behind the scenes until like things are made and like deals are made and like decisions are made to switch out ownership and stuff like that. Um, but we probably won't get a huge like set of like all the details if anything big does happen until after it happens or right before it happens. So that's just for me, but I don't think it'll stop the sport entirely. The country loves football too much for it to just like stop and kind of reset itself.
Yeah, no, I gotta keep them watching somehow.
I mean, the NFL does it. Hey, but on a real level though, if the NFL does completely fall apart from this and say they have to reset, does that mean that the EA contract is null and void? Because NFL, hear me out. You want to make a better image for yourself, right? Don't be partners with EA. That's my one one piece of advice. EA is one like single handedly it's getting you a lot of money, but it's also bringing down your reputation for like football. Like it brings it down a lot, like a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Make better choices.
Yeah, I agree that I don't think it's gonna stop football entirely. Like I said, I just gotta keep you guys watching. Shit, I gotta lie somehow. Bait them, but yeah, interesting things are gonna happen within the league in the next coming weeks. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna definitely be making invite updates about it. Um, interested to see if this all goes down. What owners he has dirt on. Don't know. I'm interested to see. I could think of some names because some motherfuckers have been in the league forever. Uh,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, just keep your eye on the league, keep your eye on Twitter, keep your eye on everything in the next coming weeks, and keep your eye on Yo Invite for more of the updates on the NFL Doomsday. That's apparently coming through. Yeah.
Ooh.
Ruben, do you have anything else to say about any of this?
I don't actually. I talked a lot today. There's a lot of things going on, but now I'm sufficiently satisfied.
Yeah. Also, let me say this. Definitely want two things. It makes me interested on what other things could be happening in other sports. We don't know. We don't hear about most things coming out in sports like this. The only other sport I can think of where scandals really happen and things come out is basketball. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. But also I feel like they do need to get rid of Dan Snyder and they do need to do more of an investigation because correct me if I'm wrong, Ruben. Didn't they make a whole new like division for investigation just because of what was going on with the Washington Commanders?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they had to make an entirely new department just for the investigation. Yeah, because the work that went into like going through all of the commanders like documents, just like years worth of documents. Yeah, they had to make a whole new division for that. It was wild. It was wild when we first heard when the news first broke about stuff like that. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I'm still new to all this news that just came out. I recently heard about it because I was watching Pat McAfee and I was like, what do you mean all this shit Dan Snyder's talking about? And I went back and I looked and I was just like, oh God,
Dude,
this is going to get bad.
football is the best drama show you could watch.
The
Literally.
best reality show.
The best drama you could ever watch. Real Housewives of Atlanta? Nah. NFL Sundays. Best drama.
Oh my God. Jeez. Well, with all that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Yo Invite tonight. This was our first official stream on YouTube. So, like I said before, make sure you are following us on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. Make sure you're following us here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notifications on when we go live. We'll be posting more lives on here. YouTube Shorts that are going to be coming out within the next couple weeks, hopefully within the next couple of days. And of course, some changes that are set to come soon. How soon? When we're ready soon. But
Overwatch 1.5 soon.
Yeah. Yo Invite's gonna get an update. DLC, if you will.
DLC.
So with that being said, we love you. We appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in. We hit a peak of 5 people today for our first stream on YouTube, so that's really not that bad. These will be saved on here, so yeah, feel free to like them. Feel free to hit the subscribe. Yeah, all that good stuff. And of course, YouTube, you ain't met my boy here, Ruben, but if there's one thing Ruben knows how to do, he knows how to fuck it all up. Ruben. Yeah, take it away. Take it away.
I was going to do something long and complicated. I was going to, but I decided against it. So I'll do something real simple. What do you call a deer with no eyes? I need you to respond.
I'm trying to think of an actual answer. I don't know.
Me neither. I have no idea.
Goodbye. Goodbye. So bad.
Yeah, first one on YouTube. That's the point. I'm gonna make this a whole segment.